So this year has had some ups, it's had some downs, but in the spirit of Christmas, as right now in Australia it is Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody, uh, whether it's Christmas for you or not. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, then how you doing? So anyway, there's been plenty of feel-good moments this year, and I'm just going to name some of my best feel-good moments of this year in mixed martial arts. So starting off with the first feel-good moment, this one's going to be a biased take from me. Obviously, these are my feel-good moments, but UFC 284 as a whole, this was the first time I attended a UFC event live, and the atmosphere was insane. The results were great. Like the Australian fighters did pretty well. Off the top of my head, I think only Tyson Pedro and Shannon Ross lost, so it was really good. As an Australian MMA fan, the people of my nation represented us well out there. They all looked really good. The fights were banger fights. You know, the main event, one of the best fights, one of the probably the best champ fight. You had Alexander Volkanovski. Everyone was counting him out, saying he couldn't go in there, and he was going to get ran through by Islam Makhachev. He went in there, he lost, but he went and he did go and put a good showing for himself against Islam Makhachev. He's done the best against Islam Makhachev so far. We won't get into that second fight though. But yeah, he did really well there, and yeah, it was just a good card. Even the co-main event, Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. Not many people know this. Yair Rodriguez was one of the fighters that actually made me a hardcore fan. I'm watching him spinning elbow KO the Korean Zombie last minute after losing the majority of the rounds. That just completely invested me in that card. He's one of the fighters that made me a hardcore fan. So to see Yair Rodriguez in person fight was definitely a really good feel-good moment. And yeah, that's why I got this on my list. Next up, and also just also the walkout for Alexander Volkanovski as well. That was one of the craziest moments in my life. I've been to AC/DC concerts, I've been to concerts, I've been to massive events, but to actually be there and the crowd, the atmosphere when Alexander Volkanovski, walked out was one of the craziest moments of my life. It felt like we were shaking. It was that loud. Like literally, it was so loud that like it didn't feel real. It felt like there was a fucking earthquake about to happen. It was a crazy moment, surreal moment, one of the best moments of my life was attending a UFC event. So that's why I've got this as one of my feel good moments. Second off, I got Sean Strickland upsetting Israel Adesanya. This was just a feel good moment for me personally because I didn't like how Israel Adesanya reacted after beating Alex Pereira. Obviously, he mocked his son. He was playing dead. He had already lost 3 fights before that, and he was acting like he had just shut out Alex Pereira 4-0 himself. But he's lost 3 out of the 4 fights. So I don't know. I didn't like that. And then obviously I didn't like him race baiting Dricus, trying to paint Dricus Duplessis as a racist. I don't think Dricus is racist. Maybe he is, but I don't think there was anything that Dricus had done with his actions that proved he was a racist. So I didn't like that whole aspect of it. And Sean Strickland, crazy comeback story. When you think about his life, he's had fucking horrible things happen to him. He's struggled with mental health, struggled with PTSD pretty much from the shit he's gone through as a child. And to see him go in there and do it for people who struggled with mental health, and also coming back from a motorcycle accident a couple of years ago, and to rise up as champion in a massive upset that nobody, not even myself, was giving him a chance to. That is just a feel good moment for Sean Strickland there. Then we had Sean O'Malley beating Aljamain Sterling. Now, I like Aljamain Sterling. I don't hate him or anything, but this was just a feel-good moment for me because I felt validated as a MMA YouTuber because I was one of the only people picking Sean O'Malley to win this, and I had people calling me a clown and saying clown video and I'm an idiot and all this stuff. And for Sean O'Malley to go in there and knock him out exactly like I said he would was definitely a very good feel-good moment for me. So yeah, maybe this is just me being a bit petty to have this on here, but I definitely had to have this one on here. Uh, yeah, it just felt good to me. I felt validated. So and also just to see Sean O'Malley come back after losing to Cheeto Vera a few years ago, where everyone's like, oh, this guy's a fucking bum and all this stuff, and then to actually go on and become champion was really good to see. Uh, but yeah, then we had Alex Pereira's comeback, Poltan's comeback. He started this year getting brutally KO'd by Israel Adesanya, which, a lot of people are saying, well, shit, that's it for him. He's not coming back from this. He moves up to light heavyweight. He beats Jan Blachowicz clearly, in my opinion. It was a weird fight, but I think he did do more damage. He beats Jan Blakovic, and then he fights Yuri Prohaska. Goes in there. I picked him. I said he would make it look relatively easy. And in my opinion, he did make that look relatively easy. Goes in there, sleeps Yuri Prohaska. Not an early stoppage, by the way. That was definitely a clear stoppage. Fucking Yuri Prohaska was going to die if he ate any more left hooks on the ground. Just going to put that out there for the people saying early stoppage. But to see Alex Pereira go in there, you know, a lot of people were saying his career's done. He's older. He's an older fighter. He'd been brutally knocked out. Like, he's not going to come back from this. And for him to go 2-0 after that, win the championship, now being in a better career position than Israel Adesanya is just a real feel-good moment, in my opinion. Like, I don't know how people can't root for Alex Pereira. I get some of his fans are a bit excessive, but the guy's a great guy. He's got a great backstory. He fought from alcoholism as a child, making 20 cents an hour or something crazy like that, working a bike shop. To start training at like 24 years old, 23 years old. Like, this guy is not a growing martial arts. This is not a guy who grew up doing martial arts. This is a guy who's dealt with adversity his whole life. And to be where he is right now is honestly fucking amazing when you think about it. The guy's just been through poverty, like extreme poverty, alcoholism. He's dealt with so many demons. And for him to come back at this point in his career and to win, you know, it's just this is one of the guys who can face adversity better than anyone in the world. If we're being honest, in the world, I would go that far. Also, sorry, my hair is really my eyes. I just had a shower. But yeah, moving on. Now, this one's just a personal one for me as well. I mean, all of these are personal ones. I don't know why I keep saying this. Like, this is my video. But I have Steven Erceg going 2-0 this year. Now, why do I have this one in here? Nobody was picking him to beat David Dvorak. This guy was. I've known of Steve Erceg for about 2-3 years now. We've messaged him back and forth when he was in Eternal. Like, obviously, I am from Perth, Western Australia, which is the same city he's from. So I've known of Steve Erceg for a while. I've watched him on the come up. We've talked to him plenty of times. He's a really nice guy, and he's a very humble guy. And for him to go in there and prove everyone, like, prove himself. I know that last fight wasn't the best performance, and he'll tell you that himself. I did talk to him. He said that wasn't really like. You know, he could have done way better. He said that himself. Like, he's a really humble guy. He's a really good guy. He's a great fighter. And to see him go, you know, instantly ranked in his first fight, make me feel very validated. And it's just a feel good. I feel good for when people from my city, from my country do well. And Steve Erceg deserves everything that he's achieved. I mean, he's earned it. He's done it himself. You know, it's not like anything was given to him. He's went out there and won these fights himself. You know, he deserves it. He's a really nice guy. He's a good fighter. And for the people who shit on him, a certain albino YouTuber, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. I'm cool. I'm cool with him. But no, still, it was a real feel good moment though. I'm happy to see Steve Erceg where he is, and that leaves me on to my last point, which is not even a UFC related point. It's just, well, I guess you could sort of consider it UFC related, but the state of Australian MMA right now, that's just a real feel good moment for me. There are so many exciting prospects coming up that, like, I could just go on and on. There is so many good fighters coming up. The Harry Webbs, the Quillen Sourkilds, the Cody Haddons. There's just so many good fighters coming up on the Australian scene. And I think next year is going to be a massive growth of Australian MMA. I think we're going to see a lot of these guys in the UFC, but just watching Australian MMA events, it's just amazing. These events are fucking fun, man. Like, I generally watch all of them. Hex, Eternal, Beatdown Promotions. Like, all of these promotions are fucking raising the bar for Australian MMA. And all these cards are fucking, they're just really entertaining. I really enjoy watching all these regional cards, to watch all these fighters on the come up, to notice that there are some guys I think would give problems to a lot of these guys in the UFC already. Like, I just can't imagine how much it's going to get even bigger. It's going to keep getting bigger. So the Australian MMA scene, sorry, Jesus Christ. Happy birthday, by the way, to the big guy upstairs. But yeah, honestly, fucking craziness. Like, it's looking amazing. Like, it really is looking great. So yeah, I honestly, this year's been great for MMA. Obviously, there's been some sad moments too, not gonna lie, but you know, it's just been an all-round good year for mixed martial arts. As an MMA fan, yeah, yeah, I've just there's just been some real good feel good moments. Obviously, this year hasn't been as crazy as the previous year. There wasn't really many crazy, barn burner fight of the nights, fight of the years, I should say. There were really good fights, don't get me wrong, but it hasn't been the craziest year fight wise, but result wise, been some really good feel good moments for myself personally. And I hope next year remains as positive, maybe even more positive, and I hope we get some more crazy fights as well. But anyway, that's all I've got to say. I hope you guys all have a good Christmas. Hope you and your families are all well. And if you, like I say, if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you guys have a happy holiday. Maybe your religious festival or holiday is around the same time. So I hope you guys have a good one of that. And yeah, I just hope you guys all have a good new year. Obviously, this isn't going to be the last video of the year, but I'm just saying, like, this is my Christmassy themed video. I didn't get my hat, unfortunately. I wish I had a Christmas hat or a reindeer ears, but maybe next year. Maybe if I'm still doing this next year, which I should be still doing this next year. If the growth continues and everything, I'm not going to quit or anything. So hopefully next year, be able to make this video. I'll be all Christmas themed out or anything. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a like. Let me know your thoughts. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. Put on the notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Doing my Grant Dawson impression. I'm giving you a salute for no reason. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.